Here today, the White House sent a letter to leaders of Congress expressing the urgent need to support Ukraine in its war against Vladimir Putin.
Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon tonight is joining us live on Capitol Hill with more on the details and the very latest tonight. Brendan, what are you hearing?
Hey there, Mike and Eva. Good evening. Well, in that letter sent to congressional leaders, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, the White House basically said, look, we are running out of money for Ukraine, and the time for Congress to act is now. Now, the letter reads, quote, there is no magical pot of funding available to meet this moment. We are out of money and nearly out of time. During his last visit to Washington, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said without aid from the United States, Putin will prevail. The White House letter comes as ammunition stockpiles and manpower are running low for Ukraine, not to mention the winter season, which we know brings even more challenges. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson replied to this White House letter earlier today on X, formerly Twitter, saying in part, quote, the Biden administration has failed to substantively address any of our conference's legitimate concerns about the lack of a clear strategy in Ukraine and a path to resolving the conflict. Johnson went on to say that the administration is continually ignoring the catastrophe at our own border and that any national security supplemental package must begin with our own border. Johnson believes there can be compromise on both issues if Senate Democrats and the White House will negotiate reasonably. Now, there is a bipartisan group, Mike and Eva, to try to find some type of compromise or agreement on that border. But again, the clock is ticking. Biden's $100 billion supplemental funding request from October, that national security request, included about $61 billion for Ukraine. Some version of that request is expected to be introduced on the Senate floor by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer as early as this week. So again, time running out. Senators are going to have to figure out some compromise here as that makes its way through Congress. But for now, reporting live on Capitol Hill, I'm Brendan Scanlon, Erie News Now. Mike, Eva.